Today I'm going to share with you 3 things you should know before your trip to Italy in 2021 and 2022. My wife and I just got back from a trip to Italy just a couple weeks ago, and we visited Naples, Capri, Positano, and we had an amazing time there. And so this video has more to do with the current travel restrictions that Italy has for US travelers. And as many of you know, more and more countries are starting to either require proof of vaccination or a negative test or a combination of both. So if you have a trip to Italy planned, my goal for this video is to kind of help you or shed some light so you can understand what the restrictions are, and that way you can plan and prepare for them the best way possible. And that way you can enjoy your vacation while you're over there like you deserve. So in this video, I'm going to be going over 3 things that you should know or you should have ready before your trip to Italy. I'm also going to be sharing with you 4 tips that I learned to make the entire process super easy, and by the end of the video you're going to be a pro. You're going to know exactly what to do and you're going to have an amazing trip to Italy. Alright, let's go over the 3 things you need to have ready before your trip to Italy. Number 1, Italy is requiring proof of vaccination to travel to their country. So if you don't have proof, you need to quarantine upon arrival. Since we're vaccinated, we provided our CDC White Card, and that was proof enough for them. Also, you must be fully vaccinated. That means you have to have both doses and you have to have at least 2 weeks after the final dose. Another thing you have to keep in mind is 72 hours before departure, you will need to provide proof of a negative test. So before you get on that plane that takes you to Italy, if you're not vaccinated, it's going to be 48 hours before departure and you're still going to need to be quarantined. But if you are vaccinated, it's 72 hours before departure. You need to provide that to your airline. The number 3, the final thing you need to keep in mind is you'll need to fill out the EU Digital Passenger Locator form, also known as the DPLF. This is a form that you fill out online specifically for Italy, which has also a self-declaration form. So you'll fill it out, you'll give them some information about your airline, the seat you're going to be sitting at, and fill all that information out. And that's about it. Those are the 3 things: proof of vaccination, 72 hours before departure, a negative test, and that self-declaration and digital passenger locator form that is done online. And everything that I've mentioned will be in the description below, so you can follow those links and fill that information out as needed. All right, now it's time for the 4 tips to make this entire process as smooth and as easy as possible for you. Number 1, one thing I'm going to recommend is schedule your test ahead of time. So we kind of waited till the last minute to schedule our tests, and what happened was all of them were taken in our area, and we had to drive out of town because all of our tests in the area were sold out or wouldn't arrive in time for our departure. Number 2, try to schedule your test as soon as your test window opens. So I'll give you a quick example. My buddy, he gave himself 48 hours before departure to take his test. However, this test that he took, they told him that it would arrive within 48 hours. So it was delivered exactly at the 48-hour mark. And since you have to arrive at the airport, 4 hours before, he was stressing out because he didn't have his test so he can get on the airplane. So he had to rush and look around to find a rapid test so he could take it and pay extra money so he can get on that plane. So just keep that in mind. Number 3, be aware of the restrictions for your layover countries. So you want to do your research on this. I'll give you a brief example. We had a layover in Germany on our way to Italy, and they didn't have any restrictions, they didn't have us fill out anything. But our return flight, we had a layover in Switzerland, and they did require a self-declaration form. So I filled that out and I was able to provide that over my phone to them, and it was super easy. But just keep those things in mind, because we saw some people having to hold up the line or having to go to the back of the line to fill out the form because they weren't prepared. My 4th and final tip is going to be to print out paper copies of everything. Print out paper copies of your itinerary, your proof of negative test, your declaration form. Although you don't need paper copies, it's just a good peace of mind to have that you have a backup in case your phone dies or in case something happens to your phone, maybe it breaks or it gets stolen. You'll have this information so you can provide it to your airline to go to your destination and to come back. Although we had to jump through some hoops this time around to travel, it was 100% worth it, and we had a wonderful time. So I hope this helps you in your preparation for your trip to Italy, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm also going to be posting some more videos about where we visited and how it was right now during the situation that we're living through. So if you're interested in those, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching and have a good one.